Hi, y'all, it's me, Admiral Adorable. Hack here with Ace Attorney, Apollo Justice, Part 3, I guess this is now. Wait, the game is not Part 3, this is the third. You get it. April 20th, 12:14 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 2. Now, there is some weirdness with because I'm doing this on an Android emulator, the sound is like, for me, it comes in, like the sound is delayed a bit. So I've made it in the editing so that the sound is where it's supposed to be, but when I'm playing it, like the original audio is like a little bit behind, so it's kind of weird. Don't worry about that though, because last time my mind is racing just thinking about this, because last time Phoenix told us straight out that he was lying about everything, or that he at least hadn't told the truth, which he said he hadn't told the truth to anyone, but about what, he didn't specify. I mean, his name is Phoenix Wright, and he said that. I mean, that's the truth, but he did tell the truth about some things. Not everything he said was a lie. And he's got a daughter now, apparently, which I have trouble believing, because with whom is the real question there. In short, we've just gotten to part 2 about this, and Phoenix said everything was going to get heated up in part 2, so I guess he's going to drop some new evidence or something. I didn't read the last line the judge said. He said we're ready to reconvene, basically.
Has our witness, Miss Olga Orley, recovered?
Yes, Your Honor. Well, she's regained consciousness.
Perhaps we can hear her version of the events again?
That's the thing. You see, she's quite fatigued.
You're looking a bit fatigued yourself, Mr. Payne.
Sadly, fatigue is insufficient grounds for refusing to testify or prosecute. The defense would like to request that Miss Orley take the stand.
Very well. The witness will take the stand.
It does feel bad a bit to do this to her. I mean, because it sort of almost doesn't seem like she's... Like, there's still something very, very stinky about this case that I don't quite understand. And she's not lying about everything. Although I guess, I mean, that's kind of seems to be the state of the day. Everyone is not lying about everything, but they're lying a bit. Perhaps you could repeat your name and profession? I don't see why that's necessary, but okay. Or perhaps you'd rather admit that you're a poor liar and a poorer loser.
Not.
Whoa! And after I just expressed a light amount of sympathy for you two, you know, that's just classic. Name's Olga Orley. That's the truth. I'm a pro dealer. People call me Olga Quickfingers Orley. Oh, really? Want to know something else? I'm not really Russian, and my last name sounds like oh really. There, that's the truth. I hope you're satisfied. I'm just shocked more than anything.
Witness, you will tell the court what you were really up to that night.
Fine, I'll talk. We had a plan, see?
Let me remind you that you are currently under oath. Any further fabrications will have serious consequences.
Fine. How long has it been? Not long into this episode, and already she's pulled a full not a bait and switch, but a full snap like that. My goodness. And there goes me trusting people again, which I should never do in the Ace Attorney universe. Like I said, I'm a pro. That guy Smith hired me to do what I do best. I was planted at the Borscht Bowl Club several days prior to the night of the game, as a waitress.
So you were in cahoots with the victim?
Not that he needed my help. Smith is a well-known poker player in some circles. That's high praise. But winning wasn't the main purpose of this game. Oh shit, okay, here it all comes. It was about destroying a legend, the unbeatable Phoenix Wright. The plan was simple. Elegant, really. You see, we set up a trap of sorts. I was to plant a card in Wright's pocket beforehand, and then deal 5 aces during one of their games. When their hands were revealed, Smith would call him out and search Wright. He would then pull out the planted card, and the trap would snap shut. I don't know who's saying that. I guess Apollo. You swapped the cards. Exposed as... Oh, I guess that was whoever... That would be Smith saying that. In the flashback there. Exposed as a cheater and losing on top of it. It would have made a great double play. Just like that, the legend would be dashed to pieces.
Indeed. Getting caught red-handed at cheating would cast doubt on all his prior wins.
A 7-year legend destroyed by one little card. That was the plan. Well, I mean, Jesus, that's... I mean, yeah. I'm really not following the play here of exposing that information if you're not going to. Because, I mean, that casts doubt on all of your prior testimony about it being right that killed him. Now you're just shining yourself in the light of the villain here, but I guess there's still work to be done.
Oh, really, Orly? How droll. But it appears you made quite the mistake. A mistake? I agree the trap was elegant. Yet, what happened to that planted card?
Hey, that's right.
He's lucky, I'll give him that.
She looks like a pirate. That's why I'm giving her this voice. Like she's like a pirate wearing a tuxedo. Well, it's not a tuxedo, but it's formal wear anyways.
You'd have to be to slip free from a trap laid by Olga Quickfingers Orly. Oh, really? The witness would be much cuter if she dispensed with the evil mastermind shtick.
Why, that's not really her gambit. She's not trying to... Case in point. Cute?
Who wants to be cute? I'm not cute. I'm bad. You hear me? Bad! When you're through being bad, perhaps you could testify to the court. Tell us about this trap and how it was sprung.
I don't think she's ever going to be through being bad, Your Honor. I think she's bad to the bone.
That night I planted the card like I was supposed to. And Wright lost...
I'm fully aware that I called her cute in the last episode, or the first one, I can't remember. I recognize the irony, it's already festering in my head. Nobody pointed out.
And Wright lost the last hand, just like he was supposed to. Then, Smith searched him. But the planted card was gone. Trap failed. The next moment, Wright picked up a bottle and swung it.
Did I say morning? Because I thought I said morning, even though it said moment, and I was clearly supposed to say moment.
It wasn't me who hit Smith. It was that no-good cheating defendant.
Wait, no good cheating, but you just said you planted the thing on him to say he was cheating.
What are you doing? A surprisingly frank testimony that still leaves us mostly in the dark.
Well, that's Ace Attorney for you.
The trap was perfect, I tell you. Perfect. That rotten cheater hadn't messed it up.
It's kind of going into Undyne the longer I do it.
Look who's talking.
Well, the testimony, for what it's worth, is all yours, Mr. Justice.
With witnesses like her, who needs criminals?
Well, I mean, she might be a criminal.
And with defendants like Mr. Wright, who needs prosecutors?
Yeah, I don't envy you there, Apollo. I'd be sweating bullets there. Last night I planted the card like I was supposed to, and Wright lost the last hand just like he was supposed to. The Smith searched him. When the planted card was gone, the trap failed. The next moment, Wright picked up a bottle and swung it. It wasn't me who hit Smith, it was that no-good cheating defendant.
Different personality, but the same testimony.
I believe you have her where you want her, Justice. The circumstances have changed, yet her testimony has not. That means...
There's gotta be a contradiction in there.
Quite. Yeah, I still feel... I'm not certain I have enough evidence. Hang on. Cardo was supposed to. Wright lost the last hand like he was supposed to. Did he? Yes, I guess he would have. Wait, this is Wright's hand. Yeah, he was winning, but okay. But he didn't. He lost the last hand. Planted card was gone. The trap had failed. Next moment, Wright picked up a bottle and swung it. It wasn't me who hit Smith. It was that no-good cheating defendant. Okay, I feel like I need to get some more information. What was the card you planted is what I want to know. Because if it's this one on the ground over here, or maybe that one... Or if it's one of the... I don't know. I'm interested in that.
Hold it! This planted card. Which card was it exactly?
The trump card. The 5 of hearts.
Oh, okay, so could be no 5 of hearts in the hand, but it's, I guess it could be that one down there. Although I guess that doesn't really say that Phoenix didn't do it, because it could have... Or that the card... And it doesn't really say anything, because if he could have... Oh, no, wait. She's saying it wasn't there before he even did swung at Smith, so it wasn't that it fell out when he was swinging or whatever.
Let me guess. Mr. Wright was to have switched the 5 with the ace to make a full house.
Oh, I see. Okay.
At least that's what you were going to accuse him of doing, thereby ruining his legend. I slid it into Wright's pocket.
When was this?
Why, before the match, of course. While he was eating. At the Borscht Bull Club, we sold borscht and suckers.
Wait, what?
Remind me to never go there. Of course. The card was to make its grand debut during the game. Like a good borscht, a good plot must be cooked up early and allowed to thicken.
Wait, I don't quite understand. She planted a card and she's still accusing him of cheating? Hang on, okay, so... She planted the 5 of hearts on him, theorizing that when he got a good hand like the one he has, that she could be like, oh, he swapped it out for the 5 of hearts, obviously. But she's admitting to that now, so obviously he didn't cheat. And she's even saying that the card was then gone at the time, so there's no way he could have cheated. Wait, wait, whose hand was it that was all screwy with The victim's hand was the one that was screwy with a planted card. My head is boiling. I'm just gonna press a little more on this because I need to get myself back into this case, and I'm not there yet. So everything went according to plan.
Exactly. The 5th ace came up, and it's obvious the switch went off without a hitch. Once the extra card was found in his pocket, Wright would be forever known as a cheater and a fraud.
Oh, okay. She planted the 5th ace in the. Wait, but then why was a king planted? Ah, God! I'm forgetting everything. Hang on.
There are worse things to be known as, I suppose.
Tell us what happened with the search. I'm just gonna push on every point so I can get the most details about this I can. Planted guard was gone. The trap failed. How? How did it happen? The card disappeared?
Yeah, my trump card, the 5 of hearts. Gone! Without a trace. Poof! Zippo! We searched every nook and cranny, even inside his cute little hat.
Yeah, that would be very easy to slip a card up your hat. I guess you could. You could scratch your head. Whatever. But the card was nowhere to be found. Is this correct?
Never in my long, storied career. Never has Quick Fingers Orley been so readily duped. Oh, really? So what did happen to that 5 of hearts? Don't look at me. Why don't you ask that cheating, lying, two-faced defendant?
So the 5 of hearts is still missing in action. But that wasn't added to the testimony, so I can't even dispute it and argue that it's maybe this one. Do we have any other photographs that might help with this, actually? This is around the time she said she would have slipped it into his pocket. I don't see how that would be easy with him being at the piano, but I guess they don't call her Quick Fingers for nothing. Where's this? This is the one I was interested in. I certainly don't see a 5 of hearts around here.
Hold it!
Wait, isn't that a little odd?
What's odd?
You searched Mr. Wright thoroughly and found nothing? Yeah, why would he go and hit him if they didn't find any evidence to accuse him? Which means he didn't cheat, which means he had no reason to strike the victim.
Well,
oh my God. What was that just now? I sensed something. Oh, is this that thing Wright was talking about? We were touching the back of the neck and lying and stuff?
Something wrong, Mr. Justice.
No, nothing, Your Honor. What to do? Should I press her a little harder? I mean, she did say about the neck touching, and she was this. I mean, she didn't actually give us any kind of answer, so yes, please.
Miss Orley, you're hiding something.
What are you talking about? You? Me? Quick Fingers Orley hiding something.
The defense will refrain from basis.
That's all he was really saying anyway. It's nonsense.
I have one question for the witness then. You say you saw the moment the defendant hit the victim. Is this true?
Of course it's true. I did see it, honest. I saw it when Wright hit him.
She's doing the thing again.
With my own eyes, I saw it.
What's this weird vibe I'm getting? That witness, for instance, Miss Orley. She would touch the back of her neck during certain parts of her testimony. Did you notice?
Touching her neck, was it?
Oh, this is creepy.
Whoa! What's going on? This sensation. It's coming into focus. There! That twitch! It's so clear. It's like I could perceive her habit like I couldn't before.
Perceive. Gotcha? Is that what he said?
Miss Orley? Perhaps you are unaware of this yourself.
Unaware of what?
Whenever you get to it, don't tell her that. She's going to stop doing it.
Whenever you get to a certain part of your testimony, you touch the back of your neck with your left hand.
My neck? So what?
What indeed, Justice? I hadn't noticed anything of the sort.
When she says that part of the testimony, she's subconsciously recalling something. Her body reacts to the memory and she touches her neck. I'm sure of it.
A memory? Would someone care to explain what he's babbling about?
I will say, Justice, this isn't exactly evidence you're conjuring up here, but...
This is highly unusual, but let's ask the defense. You claim the witness is remembering something. Maybe you have evidence of this memory to show us?
Her habit is scratching her neck whenever she talks about the moment of the crime. So, what would remind her most of the moment of the crime? Miss Orley, whenever you recall that crime that night, you scratch your neck. I've noticed it happens when you think about the moment of the crime. There must be some reason behind this habit of yours. I believe the weapon that left an inerasable impression on your neck is this.
Well, I mean, there's only one weapon. I was gonna say the bottle is probably...
Take that! Whenever she talks about the moment of the crime, she touches her neck! And what reminds us more of the moment than this bottle, the murder weapon? But something doesn't fit. If you were only the witness to the crime, why would that make you touch your neck like you're in pain?
What's he talking about now?
I love that. I love the slow breakdown of just Winston Payne. Which, by the way, I only realized when I started playing this game that Winston Payne is is winced in pain. Like it's a pun or not. I don't know. It's not really a pun, but whatever. I can't believe it took me 4 games to notice that. I love how he's just breaking down like
I don't have a goddamn clue what's going on.
the whole time.
It was Mr. Smith, the victim, who was hit, not you.
Yeah, this isn't really. I won't say this is evidence, Apollo, but I mean, I guess there's some. I mean, if I saw someone get hit, I'd probably be uncomfortable thinking about it.
This is cross-examination, not a wild conjecture. The witness's habits, they're completely irrelevant.
Justice, I'll admit I'm a bit confused myself. This is certainly a unique cross-examination.
I'll explain later. Just trust me. Now's our only chance to break her.
Miss Orley,
Please testify in detail about the moment of the crime. The very moment.
Nyet, I am knowing nothing.
We know you're not Russian.
The witness will testify, please. Now.
Bah, fine. Oh, hey, okay, here's the music's getting up in tempo. You know we're close. Okay. He's the one who did it. I didn't let him out of my sight until the cops got there.
Different personality, but
Oh, that just added to the testimony. Okay. That is also not true, though. I'm pretty sure we testified at some point that he left, right? Restaurant's first floor. Can I put that here, or is that not really? She might have gone up to the first floor with him, I guess. But let me push on this point and see if there's what she has to say about it.
Hold it!
you seem uneasy.
You try sitting up here.
Her eyes are darting all over the place. I must be getting warm. Tell me, after the crime, what was the defendant like?
Well, he must have been stunned by the weight of this crime. He sat in a daze at the table until the cops came. Intriguing. Oh, that's not true. I believe you've gotten all the testimony you're going to get out of this witness. So, what do you think about her testimony?
I'll tell you what I think. Her testimony is flawed. It's basically bogus. It contradicts the evidence.
What's that?
Well, show us this evidence, Mr. Justice. This evidence that you claim contradicts the testimony.
She didn't let him out of her sight.
The first floor. Yes, the phone. We got it. You don't have to spell it out for me, Apollo.
She didn't let him out of her sight until the cops got there. I know there's some evidence that contradicts that.
Boop.
Take that!
Miss Orley, we have a record here that clearly contradicts what you said. It states that the police were alerted by a report from the defendant. And we know that the defendant left the room, climbed the stairs, and made that phone call from the first floor of the Borscht Bowl Club. Sorry, I had a bit of a spaced out there for a second. So explain how you kept your eyes on the defendant when he left the room entirely.
Yeah! God!
Is that it? Have we done it? The man who picked up a bottle and swung it that night wasn't the defendant. It was the black screen. Oh. Whoa. Back to the thing we saw at the beginning. Who slides cards along the table like that when you're playing? Showdown time. I don't know who's speaking. Could be Phoenix or Shady. You dirty cheat! Check his pockets, now! It's gone! The card's gone! You lose. Ah! I don't know who's speaking. I guess Phoenix is the one screaming there. Just then, Smith grabbed the bottle from next to right, and he hit me! You... Some master of cheating you turned out to be. I don't know why I'm giving Shady Smith and Olga the same voice. Ah! When I came to, the victim was already dead. Is that it? That's why I couldn't reveal who I really was. If it came out that I was in the league with Smith, I'd be a suspect for sure. Well, where does this leave us?
Madness! This is madness! I'm dreaming! It must have been me who was hit with a bottle, and I'm imagining all of this.
It appears our prosecution is at his wit's end, and frankly, I can't blame him. Mr. Gavin, what do you think about this turn of events?
Aren't we supposed to be... whatever.
Mr. Gavin? Sir?
I believe that, as the defense in this case, we are compelled to call Miss Orley a
big fat liar.
What?
3 were in that room the night of the murder: the defendant, the victim, and her. And she has a motive. Yeah, well, and Phoenix doesn't. Like, I mean, there's no motive for Shady Smith to hit himself. There's no motive for Phoenix to kill him if he didn't cheat. Like,
Motive?
her plot foiled, the witness got into an argument with her client, Mr. Smith. And the denouement? That's a word I'm unfamiliar with, unfortunately. Of that argument was murder.
What? I'm no killer. It's a trap. Someone's trying to frame me.
Well, I don't know, I mean... What tangled webs we weave when we practice to deceive. So tangled we catch ourselves in the process.
Mr. Wright, someone else was on the stand. You can't just appear there. That's not how physics works.
Such a hasty conclusion. It's not like you, Christoph Gavin. I'm gonna refer to you by full name. I hope that doesn't make anyone uncomfortable. What are you saying? Why not consider the other possibility? That there was a fourth person, yes. That there was another person in the room at the time of the murder. Didn't we already bring that up earlier? Right, like Mr. Wright was saying before recess. Before class let out. A single card was swapped into... Yeah, there's still so much that doesn't make sense about this. A single card was swapped into the victim's hand after the murder. And the one who swapped the card didn't know 2 colors were being used. A fourth person, yeah, because I guess all 3 people would know.
Ha! This theory again! Your fourth person doesn't exist!
Indeed. That's why I decided to bring this case to court. Here, where there's no escape and no chance for deception. Well, I mean, that's not really true. There's been plenty of deception already. The perfect place to catch the real criminal.
The real criminal?
And we're in luck. A clue to the real criminal's identity was kindly provided for us. And right at the beginning of the trial, no less. Is he going to say Gavin? Because Gavin's the one who said the back cards with the backs wreathed in blue flame. Although, yeah, because he didn't mention anything about the red backs cards. Is he going to pin it on Gavin? Really?
What?
Apollo, perhaps you know what I'm talking about?
Sorry.
Remember what I said. The fourth person who swapped the cards made one critical error. He or she wasn't considering the color of the backs of the cards. Wait a minute! Are you telling me that if this is how Christoph Gavin corroborated with Phoenix to get himself convicted in order to... And why? As like a righteous last stand if he actually was? What is happening? Unless this really is some big fat arse elaborate test. But holy crap, this is... What? Right, but how could such an obvious mistake occur? The cards used for the last game were red. Yet, there is one person here, in our court, who thought those cards were blue. Yeah, I had that impression too, but why? Well, Apollo, think you can figure out who it was?
It's not me, I swear!
Who is the fourth person?
Why do I always get put on the spot like this? Let's hear what the defense has to say. Who was it? Who thought the cards used in the final game were blue? Christoph did.
Take that!
As I expected. Your eyes and ears are as sharp as your hair.
I was right?
Christoph Gavin, you were the fourth person that night. But, of course, Mr. Gavin knows the color of the cards. How would he? As you can see, the photo of the crime scene is black and white. You can't tell which the cards are blue, the ones on the floor or the table. But, look! You can see the colors in this photo. Oh, I guess, yeah. Yes, but when he said the cards were blue, it was well before this evidence came to light. Yeah, we only got that picture a bit later.
It is true that the defendant was engaged in a game of poker with the victim. And it was only that, a game, in the purest sense, a competition, Your Honor.
A competition?
Yes, a test of wits, a silent clash of passions. Only the cards, their backs wreathed in blue flame, know its final outcome.
Well, Christoph?
Mr. Gavin?
Mr. Gavin, is something the matter?
No, nothing. Excuse me, it was just, so... sudden. Right, you aren't seriously accusing me, are you? Oh, Christoph, you know even I'd never take a joke this far. Oh, shit.
This has gone beyond ridiculous, beyond dumb. This is insanity! The defendant accusing his own defense attorney of murder!
I assure you, I'm quite sane. Well,
But what possible connection could Mr. Gavin have to the victim?
I wasn't aware that I had a connection to Mr. Smith either.
Yes, but Mr. Gavin and the victim have never even met.
Well, what if they have? Well, if he was the fourth person in the room, then of course they have. Or, I mean, it's more likely they have. I mean, how would you know that they haven't? What makes you say that? There is a possibility, after all. They may have met that night, before the game started.
What are you suggesting?
Is this the truth Mr. Wright was staying silent about? Well, only one thing to do. I guess have cross-examined him.
Mr. Wright, the defense would like to request that you testified.
The defense would like to request no such thing.
Mr. Gavin? I'm actually his attorney, so if you shut the fuck up, that would be nice.
Testimonies must relate to the case. How could anything happening before that game poker be What? How can you say that? I mean, obviously, I know why you would say that if you were under accusation here, but holy crap. Come on, that's not...
I'm not sure I follow, Mr. Gavin.
Neither am I. As I explained before, the defense believes that Miss Orley...
Am I to assume you speak for Mr. Justice in this? He is the defense, not you. Mr. Justice, the matter of Mr. Wright's testimony is up to you.
Oh, okay.
Does the court, in your opinion, need to hear Mr...
Yeah, yes, please.
This was Mr. Wright's strategy. He was planning this all along, and I intend to see it through.
I mean, it can't hurt, right? Like, what... I mean, only a murderer would say, no, don't let him testify.
The defense would like to...
Unless maybe that was like a story choice of whether I'm protecting Christoph, but I guess why would I? I guess Apollo has some sort of attachment to him, but I mean, he also has an attachment to, Justice, and also Phoenix Wright, I guess. And I, having played the other games, know Phoenix tends towards the good guy side of things. Anyways, I guess there's no point. It probably wouldn't be a plot choice that I just made. They would have made it more obvious, I think.
The defense would like to request that Mr. Wright testify to the court.
It too, Justice. You would betray me, your teacher?
I'm sorry, Mr. Gavin. This isn't about loyalty, it's about the truth.
And all with that very... like cool smile on his face, that metallic smile. Mr. Christoph Gavin's is getting creepier the longer I play this.
Very well. The defendant, Mr. Wright, will take the stand, please.
Oh my god, so I guess we're not quite near the end of this as I thought. Although the music is still in a high tempo.
That evening, Christoph and I had dinner.
Oh, okay, sorry, I spaced out and I was like,
That evening, Christoph and I had dinner. We sat at the table in this photograph. Shady Smith walked in 5 minutes after Christoph left. When the trap failed, Smith hit the waitress. That girl was knocked out cold, and Smith was uncontrollable. I left to call the police.
Really? With a man chasing you? You just stood there in the first floor and called the police?
When I returned, he was dead, blood streaming from a cut on his forehead.
That's not what we saw in this photograph, is it? I mean, I guess it could be a cut, if this is blood running backwards, but who would cut your forehead to kill you? Just like a knife? That's that wouldn't do it. Oh, I guess if you got hit with something, there could be a cut.
That's when I made another phone call to defense attorney Gavin.
Your phone doesn't support that you... Oh, I can't even check. There's nothing I can check on this. Oh, wait, what the hell is this?
Wow, the batteries are held in with a piece of tape. He should just buy a new one. Maybe he can't afford it, or he just doesn't care.
I don't know I hope that doesn't become pertinent. I don't know why I guess I was looking for any evidence of if there was multiple calls made, or if we could, there were multiple calls made, or if we could verify that.
Mr. Gavin, you were at the Borscht Bowl Club at the night of the murder.
I dine with him rather frequently.
And he talked to the defendant on the phone directly after the murder?
Quite against my will, I had become involved in a murder. I thought I might be in... That's like I have to specify.
I thought I might be in need of a lawyer, so I called him.
You were planning this all along, weren't you, Wright? Just because you wanted to drag me into your little murder trial.
The only thing I want is the truth. As I did back then, and now.
Wait, why would you say as I did back then and now if you already said I want the truth now? Never mind. It's Phoenix Wright, he says weird stuff.
I thought my office was doing you a favor when we took on your defense. It appears that I was wrong.
Dang, I really thought this was going to be more of like a... Christoph had set this up to test Apollo, but this goes deeper than I imagined.
Very well. The defense may cross-examine the witness.
Justice.
Sir!
He's lying, and you're going to expose him.
Understood, sir. Mr. Gavin, Mr. Gavin versus Mr. Wright. This can't end well. Why can't I have a normal trial?
They seldom happen in this series, unfortunately. I hate to break it to you, buddy.
Is this the truth that Mr. Wright was talking about?
Justice, you know what you have to do. He's lying. Expose him. Now.
Yes, sir. I have to think. What's Mr. Wright trying to tell me with this testimony? The truth has to be in there somewhere.
Yeah, I don't really see how this could help. I'm just going to save. I know I haven't lost any health, but I just want to save, just because. Blood streaming from a cut on his forehead. Now, the death, it's cerebral hemorrhaging, it's blunt trauma to the forehead, and the bottle didn't break, so I don't really see how it could have cut him. I mean, I guess the skin on your forehead is kind of thin, so maybe if you get hit hard enough, it, like, could break, but it's a weird way to say it. If that's what you... If he was killed by a blunt blow, and that was obvious, but I'm looking at him, you wouldn't say he got cut, I guess. I'm just gonna push on this point and see how Apollo takes this.
Hold it! And when you returned, the victim was already dead.
Yes. I'll admit, I was a little startled when I walked in. A little? Well, he's seen a few murders before. He was bleeding from his forehead, after all.
I guess I'd be startled too if I walked in on a scene like that.
Bleeding from his forehead. I'll try pushing with this. I feel like it's not gonna work, but I'll give it a whirl.
Objection!
Music didn't stop.
Your Honor, what do you think about the witness's statement?
It's the same quote as when Phoenix screws it up.
I'm not sure I follow you.
It clearly contradicts the I thought...
You don't sound very sure, Mr. Justice.
It's the exact same quote as with Phoenix. That's cool.
Objection overruled.
I don't think that one many points with the judge.
Down to the internal monologue. Okay, yeah. I guess that's not right. Another phone call to defense attorney Gavin. Okay. I need to push some more on this. I don't quite see. We sat at the table in this photograph. Walked in 5 minutes after Christoph left.
Hold it! About this failed trap. This is the same trap that Miss Olga Orley mentioned.
The plan was simple. Elegant, really. You see, we set up a trap of sorts. I was to plant a card in Wright's pocket beforehand, and then deal 5 aces during one of their games. When their hands were revealed, Smith would call him out and search Wright. Then he would pull out the planted card, and the trap would snap shut. You swapped the cards! Just like that. The legend would be dashed to pieces.
One thing I will just note, I don't as much care for the I liked in the HD remaster of the trilogy where you could see how many points of health you have as opposed to just being kind of like it's a bar. But whatever. I'll live. I just gotta not screw it up.
Yes, a harmless prank in essence. It was by a quirk of fate that I happened to discover it. A quirk?
Oh, so you did know it was there and like you threw it on the ground or something.
I happened to put my hand in my pocket and found a card. The card she planted. Yes, I snuck a peek at it and found it was the 5 of hearts. I had a feeling something might happen, so I disposed of the card. Before the game.
Disposed? Where?
There was an empty bottle of grape juice I'd been drinking right beside me. I threw the card inside the bottle.
You like folded it up?
An empty bottle of grape juice? The murder weapon?
But it's not in there now. Is it? It sure doesn't look like it.
Yes, I rolled it up and shoved it in. The colored glass makes it hard to see.
That's a pretty weak...
A battle of wits between the deceiver and the would-be deceived. That sounds like terrific drama.
A card inside the murder weapon? That's strange. Did the police miss it in their investigation? Maybe I'll take a look.
I don't see it. He said before it was empty, right?
The bottle is completely empty.
Yeah, it's there's nothing in there. Oh, I guess that's just my evidence then.
Mr. Wright, the poker head of courtroom number 3 approves this battle of wits. Please revise your testimony with this new information.
Okay, well that was easy. I'm afraid.
I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. But that doesn't make damn bit of sense. Mr. Wright, if I may.
Yes?
I've examined the bottle and I don't see any card in there. No?
What, Mr. Wright? Surely, isn't all you have to say for yourself?
I can't say that I know what happened to the card. I did put it in that bottle, however.
Huh? Perhaps a 5th person came in and took it out? Oh, and a 6th person could have helped. Mr. Gavin, Mr. Wright is your client.
My apologies, Your Honor.
I won't have you disparaging your investigation either. We looked inside that bottle. There was nothing. So what's going on? Is Mr. Wright hoodwinking us again? Or did the card just disappear?
He did seem like he was telling the truth, for once, in this whole case.
In any case, please continue the cross-examination. I'm afraid decisive contradictions call for decisive evidence.
Oh, push him harder, Justice. Break him. It's just you and the witness in the ring. Go for the KO.
Ugh. Why do I get the feeling we're not on our client's side anymore?
Smith was uncontrollable. I left to call the police. Why would you just leave? How would you just leave if he was uncontrollable?
I want to know more about that, please. You made the call to the police from the first floor of the restaurant, correct?
Exactly. Cell phones don't get a signal down in the hideout.
Was anyone else on the first floor at the time?
Not a soul. It was the middle of the night after all. So there in the darkened restaurant, I called the cops. After making the call, I returned to the hideout. It didn't seem right to leave the injured waitress alone. But that's what you did when you left uncontrollable Shady Smith there. I mean, there could be blood streaming from a cut on his forehead, even if he died from blunt trauma. That doesn't disprove anything. Well, it's the only thing I can think of at the moment. So I need my defense attorney Gavin. Just tell me a bit about that, maybe?
Could you explain why you called Mr. Gavin?
I'd obviously gotten involved in a rather sticky affair, and I figured Christoph's law offices would give me a friend rate. But you also have been saying this whole time that you've suspected him, so this is kind of a bullshit answer. You give me a friend rate for my defense fees. Glad to hear you intend to pay. Oh, I'll pay in full, Christoph. It was I who got you involved after all. You may find the price of your defense quite high, my good friend. Quite high. Okay, I'll just push some more because I'm still not totally convinced about what I need to do.
You had dinner with Mr. Gavin?
Yes, he dines with me at the Borscht Bowl Club, right? Did we already hear this? No. We were enjoying the usual dinner at our usual spot, as usual. Usual. I always eat at the table closest to the piano.
I see. Where Mr. Smith was sitting?
So the plates and such on the table were from your dinner?
Indeed. The remnants of my meal with Christoph. We dined for 2... That seems pertinent somehow. I don't know why. We dined for 2 hours, and then Christoph left. After that, well, our bottled grape juice here. Maybe something they could have gotten swapped somehow. Maybe that's what the important thing is here. I don't see it just yet. I haven't had my eureka moment. Shady Smith, I also don't have a good sense of the timeline of this. Between 1:45 and 2:15. Was there a mention of when the call happened? Oh, no, I guess not.
Hold it! 5 minutes? So the two of them could have passed in the restaurant during that time.
That would have been a fateful encounter, to be sure.
Oh, Mr. Wright, what was it you said? Christoph, Gavin, and Shady Smith may have met?
I believe I did say that.
Here I was all nervous about this meeting, and now here they just passed in the hall.
That does seem a little weak as a pretense for murder.
Oh, it would be, if that was all that really happened.
Come on, Mr. Wright. What are you hiding this time?
But discover the trap... Did I already push on this? I would like to know a bit more.
Why in the bottle?
I perceived my opponent's intent immediately. I'm used to entrapment, you see. I knew it was coming.
Ho! So you struck first. I like that.
Said no judge ever. I know every trick in the book. They don't work on me. At least when you get lucky and stick your hand in your pocket, they don't. The girl was knocked out cold and Smith is uncontrollable. Did I already push on this? Yes, I did. That's everything. Okay, so I'm missing something here. I don't have a good sense of the timeline yet, so I don't feel I can disprove that anything regarding time. I'll try again with the cut thing, but with instead of the photograph, I'll show the autopsy report. I don't think that's it.
The witness's statement is clearly faulty, Your Honor.
I'm sorry, but I can see nothing faulty. Unfortunately, I will have to penalize you, Mr. Justice.
Shit, I'm really taking it now.
I must be on the wrong track.
Yeah, I don't think this is it. I will save though. Is there any way I can disprove that you sat at the table or that you had dinner? Or why would I want to anyways? I don't know. Where is people? How do I go to people? I guess I can't present people as evidence in this game? Oh, interesting. Okay.
Your Honor, did you know that I'm attorney?
Shady Smith walked in 5 minutes after Christoph left. And then you two had a talk, and this is orally... Oh, so does that mean that if this is all the stuff from your meal with Christoph, then it wouldn't be... You didn't have a meal with Shady Smith, so there would be no reason for Olga the waitress to be coming around? Is that what they're getting at, maybe? Let me... I don't feel totally confident in that. I'll keep that. That's on the table. I discovered the trap during the game and disposed of the card in the bottle. Well, it's on his side and the cap is off. There is something very, very fishy about all of this. The girl was knocked out cold and Smith was uncontrollable. I left to call the police. I mean, there's no reason she couldn't have been knocked out, I guess. I think I'm gonna die. When I turned, he was dead, blood streaming from a cut on his forehead. Yeah, I can't... I mean, partially I'm like this one, and this one would all be the same thing, but I'm not sure if maybe they want me to say like, oh, the bottle because it didn't break, but I'll try showing this photo here, because why would she have come around with the camera if... Your Honor, what do you... Oh, this ain't looking good for me. I think that's 2 more I have. Oh, geez, man, I was doing so well, and then as soon as I got to this one, I've come up against a wall. This seems important, but I can't think of anything that would disprove that. Is there anything about when these photographs were taken, maybe? None of them have like a timestamp or anything, so I'm not, The phone doesn't, I wasn't able to check the phone for anything, was I? The only thing I can check about the phone is that it's got the battery thing taped up. Okay, I'm just gonna go through with each bit of testimony and just look at every single piece of evidence and see how it would relate. That evening, Christoph and I had dinner. We sat at the table in this photograph. Attorney badge won't do anything. The autopsy report, I don't see why that would do anything. This photo here, that has nothing to do with that. Phoenix Wright's prints are on it, too. I don't know why I referred to him by full name. Oh, I guess that would be why, is if you put it in the bottle there. Something seems weird about this to me still, that this man was knocked out, the waiter, and was going ballistic, and you just walked out of there and called the police. And then he was still in the chair when he got back. I mean, obviously he got killed, but... He doesn't say only 1 phone call was made, right? And I mean, Gavin didn't really say that was not what happened. Dude, why can't I do this? It's the first trial, for pity's sake. I must say, my critical thinking leaves a lot to be desired in situations like these. Is there a clock in this photograph, maybe? Well, there's certainly a bunch of boxes of grape juice. Bottle's empty here, but it's on his side of the thing. Because I guess he grabbed it, but then why weren't his fingerprints on it? And his hand has a swapped card. Oh, unless I can find somewhere that the 5 of hearts is around. No, but I guess how would I? I'm totally stumped. God. Whoa, what is going on with my camera? My camera just did a weird thing. Never mind. Gosh, why can't I get this? Okay, hang on. Need to use all my brain power. 5 minutes after Christoph left. Nothing said anything about time except for the autopsy report, which is not pertinent because that's what happened later when they were doing the game. Discovered the trap during the game, disposed of the card in the bottle. I don't know how you would have done that without him noticing, and I don't know how the bottle ended up over here. I'll try with the bottle because it's there, but that's not it. No. My last try. I'm about to experience my first death on the first case. That never happens. It might have happened in the second game. I was pretty bad at the second one. I have nothing.
That's enough. I see no need to further prolong this trial. The defense's case is insufficient to overturn the prosecution's claims. This court finds the defendant, Phoenix Wright, guilty. The defendant will surrender himself to the court's care to undergo a regular trial at the High Court within a month's time. Court is adjourned.
Shit.
Well, at least... Oh, man, it refills my health. That's cool. I like that. Save. All right, I'm just going to go ham on this because this is a dumb thing to be hung up on. Sat at the table in this photograph. I just don't have any ideas, though. I don't know. I guess maybe because the phone doesn't say he called a second person. The call about Gavin is bogus. What? Huh? It was the empty. It was. Wait. But we already said that he doesn't know how the card got out of the bottle. So if you're about to tell me that the reason I was supposed to stop there was because there is no card in the bottle, that is nonsense.
Mr. Wright, if I may?
Yes? Wait, did we not already say this? Oh no, right, but it was not, we decided it was insufficient. Okay, never mind, I thought I had it. And I was like, okay, good, because that would be dumb. Wait a minute. You made a second phone call to defense attorney Gavin in the hideout
After getting back, after just saying that you couldn't get cell reception in the hideout? That doesn't seem right. But I don't have any evidence that says the hideout has weak sauce cell reception. Okay, I'm totally out of guesses. I'm literally going to just go through and just save scum it and just do it with all of them. Because I need to get past this. This is a horrible note to end on. Me being totally, completely incapable of this. Wouldn't be the first time I've done Ace Attorney, and probably won't be the last. It also seems kind of weird that you wouldn't stay on with the police, and also that you came back and found a man dead and you were like, better call my lawyer, as opposed to better call the police again. Well, I guess they were already coming and they knew there was danger afoot. Wait a minute, you called Gavin's law office, but then specifically requested Apollo, me. So wait, is that what they're getting at here? No, damn it. What? Oh, how would he have been able to see the blood streaming from his forehead if he had the hat on? Okay. Okay. Yeah, I should have been able to notice that. Yeah, this is the problem with playing this game in episodes. I gotta play him in longer episodes maybe, because I totally forgot that they had to remove the hat eventually. I mean, I could have figured it out just by looking at the pictures, but god damn it. Okay, fine. That took like a half hour. That took an actual half hour. Okay.
Take a look at this photograph of the crime scene. See the victim here? He's wearing a hat. I wouldn't think you could see blood on his forehead. Good point.
Justice, next time you point out an inconsistency, put a little more oomph into it.
Mr. Wright, can you explain this to the court?
I forgot to mention something. I was the one who put that hat on his head.
Uh-huh. You?
You put the hat on the dead man's head? He wore it through our entire poker game. After calling the police, when I returned to the scene, his hat was in full view. His head was in full view. Shining bright, just like in this photograph. And I picked his hat up off the floor and put it on his head.
Why'd you do anything like that?
All I can say is I'm sorry. But that's the only thing I touched at the crime scene. That's not right.
So, Miss Orley didn't see it?
It being the victim's, his head? I think not. She was out cold. I believe I was the only one who witnessed his head. Here we go again.
Mr. Gavin?
Pardon. But it'll have to wait till next time. Partially because I spent a half hour failing at life. But thank you so much for bearing with me at least till that. Wow, this episode took a freaking turn. I was not expecting trial one to go with our mentor being somehow wrapped up and as a suspect. I don't really know how that's going to play out. I mean, I assumed he had something to do with it beforehand, because there was a lot of like, oh, I called you specifically, Mr. Gavin, because I think you specifically would be good for this trial, but I wasn't sure exactly how deep that went, and I'm still not totally, but I definitely goes deeper than I thought it would, but that's all I'll have to gonna wait till next time on Ace Attorney Apollo Justice. So thank you very much for coming around to see me, to play the game with me, and Admiral's gonna be out of here. I hope I'll see you around. Peace. Wait, no, hang on. How do I do the thing they were talking about doing it in a combo? Oh, sweet. Okay. So you go like 1, 2, and then hold it.